part. I don't need this, I guess. Alrighty. Finally got my interview with my family, minus the leg. Agons. I know, I love this thing.
We could have did this over the phone.
Yeah. I mean, I could call and then you would have a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Technically. You want to do that?
No.
I'm talking to 10.
I could answer for her. I knew she was going to say that.
Still ain't going to get close.
I'm trying to get my nails and stuff done with my feet.
You got two brothers right here. We got a bucket in there.
They ain't got Valentine's Day. All right, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Paul Jones. Now, we got three wonderful people, nearest and dearest. I'm Paul. You already know. You want to do clockwise or counter? I'll pass it to my right.
I'm TJ Jones, Paul's older brother.
Or go ahead.
10.
That was the baby sister and the matriarch, Tyra.
Mommy wanted to talk about the. I'm gonna turn you up, T. Mommy wanted to talk about the first job experiences. You want to start?
Sure. Well, then in my mid-50s,
I didn't hear it.
I said being in my mid-50s, I can proudly say that my first job experience, besides chores around the house, was when I was 14 years old, and I worked for a summer program doing corn detasseling. Only to my surprise, you had to be 15 that year, and I had already falsified my age 2 years. So I only got to work one day, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed working out in the sun and the heat, and I learned something new.
You work with siblings?
Yes. I worked with Angie B. She was too young too. Her age was falsified by 1 year. So we both got sent home after that day. My cousin Greg worked there. And my older siblings and my older cousins. So it was a big event. People look forward to making their own money each summer doing summer jobs through the state, I presume.
What was the payment?
You know, I feel like I remember it being like, I don't know, $14 a day or something. I don't really remember, but I just remember it was so exciting. We would pack our lunch and, you know, we would sit out. Well, that day, that's the experience I had. We sat out. We had these big machines. I don't even know what they're called, but everybody would stand up on the machines. You had big hats on to protect yourself from the sun. And you didn't have on gloves, and you pulled the tassels from the corn, and the machines just went through the field as you pulled them out. And then we would have our lunch break and sit down and have whatever snack you packed in your bag that day.
Like the ones, like the big machinery you see in the field now?
Probably, yes.
Hey, hold on. I wish Bishop back there. You want to go, T?
What's my first job? I guess technically my first job I was selling candy at 15, maybe. Yeah, like 15, and then I think I was 16 when I worked at Nothing But Noodles. It was like a restaurant up near like Castleton-ish area.
Dang, that was the first noodles and company.
It was pretty much. So I did that for a little bit, but I was also like interning at school. So like sometimes I would leave school and go to work, and sometimes I would leave school and like go to this internship at Rise. It was at Rise skateboard shop in Carmel. So I would like sometimes go there and like do inventory and like basic stuff, like straighten up, like sometimes deck people's skateboards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it was cool. Little senior job.
How'd you get the first one though? I mean, how'd you get the noodles and company one?
Jeremy actually. Jeremy worked there. Well, it was like a bunch of us from LC who like worked there, and then Jeremy was like, "Bro, they hiring like crazy," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I like went up there, like filled out an app. Oh, we'll call you, and then a couple of days later they called me. It was like, "Oh, when can you start?" And I was like, "In school," but they was like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. We'll like work around that." So it was like really through a friend who like lived around the corner. Jeremy would play bass. Yeah. Yep. He got on.
First studio I ever seen.
Right.
First studio ever.
Yep. He was working there. It was like a bunch of us who were like in the same grade, who like all worked up there. So I like talked to him. He was like, "Oh yeah," he's like hiring like crazy. I was like, tight. But, I mean, the job was cool. Like they let us eat whatever. Like we really didn't have to pay for meals or anything.
That's important at a teenage age.
True. True that. Oh. But selling candy was cool too, though, because we would go like different places around Indy, and I was like just like starting to learn how to drive. Like when I was 15, like I started, what's it called, driver's ed, like that year at 15. So it was cool, like getting to know like different spots around like town that I've like never been to or I hadn't been to in a long time. So.
What was your the pay? Start pay.
When I was selling candy, I think it was like we only kept like 40 or 30% of like whatever we had made. So I think like one night I might have made like $60 or like $70, something like that. And then I think the pay for Noodles and Company was, or Nothing But Noodles was low. I remember it being like, I don't know, maybe like
4 something.
7 or no, it was higher than that. But it was like at the time it was like all I needed because I wasn't like paying no bills really. But if I were to guess, I would say it was like $7 or $8 maybe, and it was just like me running food and like doing cash register, and like occasionally like sweeping up and wiping down tables and stuff.
I feel like that might have been like the low 6.
Yeah, something like that.
Times when it like
I'm
switched
trying
to
to remember.
6.55.
I remember it going from like 3 to something. Our minimum wage was 3 something,
It jumped in the 90s like 5 something.
and I remember $7.25.
Yeah, $7.25, and then it was a little bit more than that because I forget why they told me for some reason they was gonna like start me off more, so it was. But I do remember it being like minimum wage, but I think they said like the more I did something like extra stuff or something, like I would get a little bit more for like that week. Like they would have tip outs or whatever, and then they would like add that to my salary, quote unquote.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might have been split like how they do at Subway and all that. Like the extra tip bucket.
Yeah, depending on like how many of us was working that night.
Dang. I'm waiting for her to take a break. Keep asking for my
Whoa.
Oh, the baby with a message.
Your first job. Yeah, labor.
Yeah.
What was the sense of the word?
My first job getting out of here. It was a first job and the starting pay.
first job was Westminster Village North, and that was a CNA, but the pay was like 13 something an hour. At 17. So that was good then.
I didn't see 13 until like late. Yeah, it was low money. And how'd you get connected to the job? Who put you on?
Nobody. I just put in an app, and she seen I had just got my license, and she was like, "You need to start off somewhere," and hired me on the spot.
Like, yeah, I need that. I need the newbie.
That's me.
Nah, that's legit. I didn't even know that.
That's when I got that Malibu, that gold car.
Oh yeah, the first what's the name? First Malibu. Dang.
Oh, like TJ's outside.
Oh
It was
yeah, I
just
forgot
like
about
that.
that. And
The cops thought it was a Malibu. It's a Cubs, but
Yeah.
dang, I want to transition to
Well, you gotta tell us about your first.
Yep.
good catch. I see y'all. I usually try to keep the host, not respond. For mine, I know she tried to pass it real quick, like I ain't about to double back. No, my first experience was in high school, and it was like the end of sophomore year, and I had like quit football after the season. And I was like, yeah, I'm not growing, and it's not really like fulfilling no more. So I was like, I need to work, get some bread. So like my first real job. So my first like real job was Chad. He had put me on to some lady that he knew from Goodwill over in Glendale, and then I started working there. And yeah, I started working that following fall. So I started in like November or something after that summer, because I had transferred to Tech, and then I was walking, like taking the back way before I got my car, taking the back way out of Tech, walk down to 10th Street, and then take the what's that bus? Like
10th Street.
No, I was walking down to Rural and then taking the Rural bus up. And it's crazy. I used to take that all the time. Yep. And I would just go up Rural, ride the bus, and then I would ride that bus back down. It's crazy. I can't remember the number. And then I would take the 39 out to Carriage House. Yep. So I wouldn't get home until like 11 or something. Crazy.
She was worried about me.
I would just like try to like do my homework on break, and then like come home, redo that homework, because I knew I wasn't like focused. I was just trying to hurry up and like complete it, see how long it was gonna take. And then it was just always something on the bus ride home. And that's what I hated the most about taking the 39, because we would always stop like around right at that Keystone. It would always be a CH or something. Like just somebody going crazy, and would stop the bus. They would get into it, get kicked off, and then finally get to the crib. And that was like the last stop when the 39 used to wrap around. So yeah, that was always like the last stop. I was like, man, I got like a whole hour to like get home. Like it's rough. So they would always like keep me, but then when I got my car, that was way better. My first besides like the small stuff like cutting grass and stuff, and shoveling, I felt like my first like gig was when we worked downtown, passing out the condoms and stuff. Me and Tillette at the expo. I feel like that was like my first like little gig or whatever. Yep. And then worked at like summer camps and stuff like that. The next year, when we was young, me and Brianna, Uncle John got us on. So, yeah, I done had a lot of jobs in life.
So how much was?
Oh, the pay. My bad. I started at the 6:55, and then I think that following summer is when they switched to 7:25 or something like that. Like that boost that was coming up after. I think that was Bush, maybe. Yeah, old heads was mad because they was in there slaving, and then I just came in there working half a year and got a pay raise for $1 something. So yeah, they was mad about that.
Yeah. And since you mentioned other jobs, like you said, that was my first experience, but my first job was at Taco Bell on Pendleton Pike. Rhonda, our cousin Rhonda, was the assistant manager, and she got me hired on. That didn't work out either.
Always Rhonda.
That didn't work. Rhonda. Yeah, that didn't work out for me either. So my next actual job, then that would have been Farrell's ice cream parlor and family restaurant in Castleton Square Mile.
Yeah, that's what I thought the first
and
job was.
Chandra, my friend since first grade, was actually the one who got me hired on there, and that was in high school. That was my, I want to say my sophomore to junior year in high school. And that would be where I met your dad, and that's where history started right there. That was my first husband. Oh, Castleton was the best mile back in the day. It has totally changed.
I can imagine that, how I used to. Well, a little bit how I used to be, but it was popping like. But you could never get out there, so we'd always hit up Washington Street or Washington Square.
Yeah, I actually used to catch the school bus to the apartments over there by where Shoe Carnival is, and I think was that Bash. I just remember I used to walk across the parking lot to get to work.
Bash.
But I would get off, and then from there.
Rallies.
Well, from there to then I would get a ride home at night. Occasionally I would catch the bus, but I had to learn how to do that, and Tim taught me that too, how to catch the bus at the 19 Delaware. We used to go there, like get on the 38th Street bus, get off at Fairfield and College, the 19th and Delaware, then go out to Castleton. So
That's a lot of transfers.
yeah, that's when they used to have transfers for a quarter. Used to probably be a nickel back then. I don't know, but
Daddy did ride the bus a lot.
yeah. And then from Farrell's, I went to Steak and Shake. And then shortly after that, because I transferred to Steak and Shake because your daddy went to Steak and Shake. And then I went. And then shortly after that, Farrell's closed. Yeah. And so my brother, it was me, Man, and Tim working at Steak and Shake.
Go ahead.
And then at Farrell's, it was Chandra, me, Man. It was a group of us, some people from LC that I went to school with. And Man was actually at JCPenney in Castleton during the time that we were at Farrell's. But it was a big live group. We had a good time.
It's crazy how out of all those places, JCPenney the one that like is still kind of around or barely around.
And Steak, well, yeah.
Oh, and Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Well, did they reopen? Yeah, they reopened
Steak and
Steak and Shake. Yeah.
Yeah, but they down bad. Like becoming. I think that they the reason that Steak and Shake is catching so much flack is because they are the only entity that was open late, like almost 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's like all those places closed and you got nowhere to hang out. Then you just all in one place. So now it's like You get that clash of cultures. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Waffle House. I worked at Waffle House too.
They were bumping.
Yeah. I didn't stay there long.
Hey, deal. You can barely hear anyway.
Well, no, let's not forget about White Castle being open
Oh yeah.
24 hours, but that was the hangout spot after the club.
White Castle got they really not a bad job now, like with the pay and the benefits. Like some people.
One of the higher ones.
Yeah, that's true. They've always been the highest paying fast food, but now I think they have a little competition.
Oh, like McDonald's or in general,
Mm,
like easy jobs.
just in general, since COVID, a lot of the fast food places, the pay has jumped,
That's true.
the hourly wage.
I feel like minimum wage now should be like $10.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah, cause it's like that's whatever it is, $7.50, $7.25. That ain't doing nothing.
Your key, literally 2 times that to, how they say, like, I'll make 2 times the rent or 3 times the rent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's
Even If it
true.
was at 10, you would still need
More.
more, right?
And like that 10 wouldn't really impact the economy like jumping it to 15 and
Right.
17 an hour. Like it wouldn't disrupt it as much. But like 10 at least, because people got the 2 part-times or they got the full-time and then a part-time and stuff like that. It would just help a little bit.
I don't know. I think minimum wage needs to go up to 15, 16 an hour. I do.
I feel like it would cause so much anarchy. Like people just don't know how to act.
Mm.
There are some places
The people that make that, would just feel some type of way. Some people would like work hard and get to that, and they'd be like, well.
I don't know, but we're behind. Like the
Yeah.
state of Indiana is really behind on cost of living, because 15 is nothing in a lot of places, like Chicago and California, New York. Yeah, you can't survive.
Like, you can make 15, but then you still got rent. You gotta try to get around, so the transportation, and
Right.
even if you do Uber, it's still not enough
Mhm.
because Uber you got to tip. And it's like, dang, well, and
That's
add on,
true.
like, a few more dollars to your ride.
I mean, think about it. At making $7.25 an hour, you still need a 2-income household to make ends meet. So that's right there. That's $14.50 an hour.
I only get paid $20.
I hear what you said. I know, just grab the mic. Dang.
Speaking to the mic.
Scoot closer.
I ain't say nothing.
So how?
No, I just said I only get paid $28.50. That's not enough.
Oh yeah, I'm at $25.56, but I get a rent discount too, so that helps out.
Well, I still won't be making that much.
But I still feel like I'll be losing. Like,
Oh yeah.
When I drove school buses at the early part of millennium, I was making $25 an hour, but I only worked 4 hours.
How did pay go back down?
I was making $24 an hour. My pay went up, but I was only working 4 hours. It's different now. You drive all day. You don't get all the breaks that I had.
Is there still a shortage? Like
Yes.
bus
Yeah.
driver shortage?
Yes.
IPS is short 250 drivers.
how they get to school now? Oh, that's why they made that deal with Indigo. Trying to get the
Some kids ride Indigo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They made a deal to where like it was free. I mean, like with your school ID during school hours, you can ride.
So they extended that because when I was in high school, all the kids who went to Arlington could ride the Metro. That's what it was back then, not Indigo. Could ride the Metro to Arlington for free. Yeah.
Clutch.
That's crazy.
Dang, I was thinking about that. We talked about that grandpa me, grandma, and grandpa last night. How we think. Well, I guess I want to present the question. What do you think is going to be the future of schooling, as far as like homeschool or like
Homeschool.
mandatory or?
Yeah.
You might have very.
Then teachers ain't gonna have no bus drivers.
You might
Yeah.
have very few that want to like actually go
Charters.
like a traditional school, but like I feel like most
If they.
Gen Zers they're gonna be like, nah, you go to school from home now, right?
Yeah. I think so too. But I've been saying that for a while because when the first school shooting started, that's what made me sad. They're gonna eventually have to start teaching from home.
I could definitely see that.
But they had killings at home too while they was on Zoom.
For real?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Like the kids during COVID, like people was getting shot and killed, like some of the kids or the parents in the background.
No.
Yes.
I heard that the
Even a
suicide
woman
rate-
husband came up and shot her in the head.
I
She a
heard
teacher.
that the suicide rate had gone up because at home because kids weren't getting that socialization that they needed. They were so used to being on the phone with their friends and stuff, and there were so many changes. And I heard that was one reason that caused for suicide because you couldn't take really away anything from the kids as far as a disciplinary action because they were already at home. You couldn't suspend them. You couldn't take their systems and stuff away because actually, oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. You could take their systems away, but that was the only outreach that they had, for social skills. So it led to a higher suicide rate amongst school agers.
That's crazy. And with the shootings, you don't really. I would have never expected that Columbine would have turned into like all of this, where it's like it's happening so frequently. Because back then it was just such a major deal, and doing the whole under the desk and the blue drill or whatever it's called, cold blue drill. Yeah,
Work Park.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I'm just surprised.
Yeah, because when I was doing,
I heard it.
when I was doing the teaching, the substitute teaching, IA, we had to do a drill, and it really was it became a reality to me as far as what teachers and students go through now. And it just really discouraged me from wanting to be in the field of education again because, the alarm goes off and you shutting doors, windows, and blinds and getting down. That's so different from a tornado drill or earthquake drill or whatever. To have to include that in the school curriculum now, it's a sad situation. So since you're a school bus driver, Tan, what precautions do you have to learn about as far as drills and for safety for Code Blue?
She like
Nothing. We just have safety meetings, and you gotta just watch out for certain things.
So what if there was an active shooter on the bus? I mean,
Used to just say bus 432 to base. I got a 10,000, whatever, like 10,000, 7,000. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but no.
You got so many kids bringing guns.
They just gonna be like, they shooting. Ain't nobody gonna be like, I got 10,000.
That's scary. So I see. That's why I'm saying, really, nowhere is safe. I understand that, but and we started out talking about our jobs, and it kind of determines what type of jobs that you gonna take too
Or
in the
if,
future, because you gotta think about this.
Yeah.
More shootings and
if they on the bus, if it's a person that's suspicious on the bus stop, you ride past the bus stop and leave the kids there and call in.
Oh no.
You don't open up the door.
Well,
Dang.
you can relate to that just having a stalker at a young age. When you were on the bus stop.
Oh yeah.
You got left
it was
behind.
stalking a child though. And I'm saying, so I'm saying they called and I had to meet her at the bus stop, but they had police officers out there watching. I mean, but that would be a scary thought to a parent that that's what the protocol is, to leave your child in a potentially dangerous situation.
They probably look at it like save one to save many, or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
It's, I mean, not for sure, but I'd imagine that's the only reason. You know what I mean? Like, you would want to stop. Like, if you see a dude in a trench coat and a hat, you're not gonna like stop.
Yeah.
Him. Oh, hey, can I help you? You know what I mean? Like, open the door. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the future of like education just seems so glim, but in general, I feel like it's gonna have to go back to old days where school is not mandatory and the way you learn, you have to like either home or just figure it out or do self learning and enter the workforce earlier. Like they might have to drop that as well. So it's just like a lot of stipulations in order to fix the economy and like look out for these households that need extra income at an earlier age. But also on the kids side, some of these kids are like looking at the need of the household and wanting to get involved earlier, but again, they're not getting the opportunity to learn that professionalism early on and not getting the opportunity to like work quicker and have people that can kind of walk them through the steps on how to interview and all that stuff like that. Dang, I wanted to do what you think, like what I guess the earliest memory of school or the household growing up, and I guess the expectations of all of us, or like how we was back then.
Darnell and Dewey.
So it's like a 3-part question. So the first like area is like the early. I pass her mine. So the first one is like earliest childhood memory, household, and then expectations of I guess yourself and then of your children.
Start out with her because she ready to go sleep. Childhood memory, you said?
Yeah, I'll just go back and I'll just hit you. So the first one is earliest childhood
Arlington,
memory.
Carrollton. Probably Arlington and Carrollton. Yeah. It's Avis.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The dino oatmeal. The dinosaur oatmeal. I vividly remember that. And dang, what did she always used to play? We used to watch Saved by the Bell, like the
And Family Matters.
That's all we watched over there. The Superstation, I think it was still called that. Dang, yeah, that was classic. What was it? Earliest memory? Oh yeah, self expectations, I guess. Like back
When
then.
we was younger.
Yeah. Like what are your responsibilities, I guess? Like expectations or something.
Make sure them chores is done before the car pull in the car.
Right.
I mean driveway.
And third is
Or hurry up back like you was doing them.
that part before the bus pulled up. What was your what you about to say?
No, you about to say the next question.
Oh, your yeah. What you I want to rephrase it though, like the future you see for your kids, like what you see each one doing, I guess. What you see each one doing when they are, let's go like 50 or 60. Like I know
They gonna be old. I guess a family and work and
I was say you
somebody gonna be
80.
successful. Yeah, I don't know. Them being successful and family, kids, the same cycle.
Yeah, that seemed like so far away, but then you're gonna be 80, 80 and 90. Be like,
If the world's still here, then
ain't
it's a
that
long
right?
time.
Yeah, they going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do feel like they will be. They what's the inquisitive? I think is the word. Like just curious about the world and like wanting to learn more about it.
Bishops want to be on Mars, probably. Nigel with his daddy, Sterling.
Junkie.
With Nana, Cortez. He gonna be doing. Him and Sincere gonna be together. Angel.
A pop star.
Yeah, she loved dancing and stuff.
And that's it. Oh, Jeremiah. Yeah.
He gonna be
He
like
probably gonna-
construction and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like he gonna be working with his hand, a blue collar guy.
Walking like this.
Yeah, be somebody's supervisor. You said Sterling. I think yeah.
With
talking about-
Nana.
Yeah, taking care of Nana.
He might be a good nurse.
That'd be sweet.
He said he wanted to do accounting.
Yeah, he did. He can be my financial advisor.
Nah, Junkie, he go do the hey, what's the dinosaurs one? Where you dust off the paleontologist. Yeah.
I can see Bishop being a great archaeologist. Because he
Yeah.
really got into that scientific stuff on that microscope.
I would have loved to see that. Man, I missed
The
it.
rocks. Rocks. He's more interested in the gems, crystals, rocks.
Yeah.
He didn't really like the bacteria stuff too much. Learn about that.
I felt like gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So like biology, not really.
Yeah.
I forgot the other one. What that would be?
Geology.
Yeah, or more geology than biology. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. Thanks. Who else did you say? Who else I'm missing? Oh yeah,
Nobody.
Cortez and Sincere.
They gonna be
Yeah.
together somewhere.
They are so funny to me. All of them got their own personality. Like I would have never expected them to all be so individually unique. Like I thought they would all
Yeah.
kind of share the same similarities or passions. But they definitely surprised me. Like they all on totally
You know
different.
the 5 kids got their own daddy and the 2 kids got their own daddy.
Yeah.
That's a good way to explain.
But they
Yeah.
do have their own personality.
They do.
Although they raised it, I mean, just like with even with all of you, the personalities are so different. But you raised in the same household with the same people, but your personalities all are different. Unique. I just think that's so. I mean, even when you look back at even me and my siblings, and even my parents and their siblings, how unique they all are, or we all are, although we're raised in the same family, we have some likenesses, but I think your personality sticks out at a young age, and you can almost kind of detect what people, how their lifestyle would be when they grow up.
Mm-hmm.
My earliest childhood memory, I can remember far. I can remember back before. I can remember before kindergarten. I can remember age 3, being in Louisiana, going over to my grandma Elsie's house. I can remember my papa over there. I remember going to Louisiana. The chickens used to free range. I was scared of them. One time a bull. My cousins thought it'd be really funny to see us run. And they sent one of them bulls running through there and scared the mess out of me. It was just almost like that, was it Budweiser commercial or Michelob or it used to be a bull that run through and breaks through on one of them beer commercials, and that's what all I could think about was one of those that bull was about to charge through, because I ran and hid in my grandmother and Mama Burns' bathroom, and I just kept waiting on that bull to run through there, but of course it didn't happen, and they thought that was so hilarious. One fond memory, it's not fond, I don't even know why I said fond. One memory that I have in kindergarten, I used to get teased because I was born a Sam. And we had to read those little books, Sam I Am. And I remember sitting in a circle, and there was this little Asian girl every day. I hate going to kindergarten. I went to school 73 over here. My 30th and over there by Sherman, over by Shop. Anyway, that there's a little Asian girl sitting next to me, and she would pinch me every day at supper time, and they would all tease me about Sam, the books, Sam I Am. I heard that forever, but that was one of the memories. But I could also remember a fond memory of when we lived on DeQuincy. Daddy had a car we called the Blue Goose. And he would let us wash the car. We would be up there with all them bubbles and stuff everywhere, washing the car. And after we finished cleaning the car, he would take us to the candy store down the street over there off of Sherman. I don't know what's over there now. But we would get candy. That was fun.
Yes.
And then expectations of your kids. At 50, ain't that what I said? Or where we would be at 50?
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, I think, let me see. Starting off with 10, that's in about 20 years. Oh, wow. That's going to be a fun, that's going to be a 25. Fun time. That's going to be a fun time for you, because all your children will be adults, and they'll be starting their families and finishing school or going to school, college. I mean, that's going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I see a lot of success because you have these chances. Sometimes you have a chance to redo what you didn't do right with your children. You be able to redo with your grandchildren. That's what a lot of grandparents like to see. So I do think you're going to be a young grandmother, but I think that in 20 years, that's a little over 20 years. That's not very long from now. I see, success, and that's a fun time. You're going to be able to relax and enjoy your children as adults.
Like fruits of labor.
Yeah. Yep, your work could be put in. Now, let's go to Paul. In 20 years, I see a wife and 2 or 3 children. I see a lot of traveling. I don't see that stopping you. I don't. I see your family traveling as well. If you would have asked me this maybe 10 years ago, I probably would have saw military for you.
That's great.
That's what I always used to think, that you would be the one to go to the military.
Yeah, I wanted to during undergrad. I went to every branch and did the little intake test. But when it's time to sign them papers, I was just like,
Really?
Yeah. Literally, I've been to probably 3 or 4 recruiters.
So you took the ASVAB and everything?
No, the pre one, where it's 50 questions or 70 questions they give you. And I always score high. Every time I walked out, they was just be like, oh, man, sign up. I'm like,
yeah.
Man. I just always got to
that was the ASVAB, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Probably the short version, but I don't know. Tom said I would be good, doing the tests and stuff, but I just was I don't know, the more I grew older and thought about it and slept on it, I was just nah. I don't know, got that problem with authority. Like where like you don't gotta break me down. I already been through it, bro.
That's probably why it would have been good for you.
Big facts.
Because some authority is good authority. If you think about it like that.
Yeah.
Because when you have people who see potential in you, they're gonna guide you, and they're gonna bring like pull out that discipline in you, so that it can turn into self-discipline. So some authority is good authority. It's not always negative behind it.
That's true.
I kind of wish I would have went on ahead and pursued my military career. I think things would have been better for me. You know, maybe not as
Turbulent.
yes. You know, I would have been more stable, and I think I would have been able to do better for raising my children. And I probably would have stayed single. I probably would have, if I had gone through the military, I probably would not have married.
And then you got 2 more children.
Yep. And for TJ, free spirit. I've always seen TJ as a free spirit. So I kind of a traveler, but more laid back. Not as adventurous, but just relaxing and enjoying his travels.
Uncle Tony. I don't know if y'all
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what. And then I don't know. I don't know if I really see a settle down, and because that's not far from now.
Yeah. I mean, I would settle for like a cool baby mama. That would be cool.
Yeah. I would have guessed if you had asked me that a few years back, or maybe even 10 or 15 years ago, I probably would have thought that you would have been a rock star.
Yeah.
You are a rock star in my book, but I'm just saying.
Grandpa said last night that a lot of people back then didn't have kids in wedlock, which really surprised me. Like when they was younger and having kids and stuff. Or I guess their generation, their parents didn't really, like everybody, it wasn't a thing. I'm like, dang, that like blows my mind. Like times really ain't really changed.
Right, yeah.
We was talking about ancestry and like how people like had kids on the side, or like adopted kids, or like, you know, kids just running astray and you bring them in your household. I was telling them about how census, there's kids that are like grandkids and they disappear in the next census. So like stuff like that. But I just wanted to interject with that. I'm sorry.
Makes sense.
Who's that left? Tillette.
Yeah. That. Well, initially I saw her as working in Paris. I don't know. I always thought that she would go out and be a famous designer or merchandiser in Paris, France. That's what always stuck with me with her. But I really didn't ever see her settle down. I don't know. I just never pictured her as really wanting that. I always thought that she would, like to travel and just be well known for her artistic abilities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, skip me. I was like, dang. I remember that dog picture. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I don't think she draw like really.
She likes to
After
sketch.
Yeah,
She doesn't really like to draw. Yeah.
Daddy
Yes, she
always
likes
sketching.
Yep.
Daddy was always sketching. I remember when Daddy when he still had his airbrush.
Yes. Do you know how so many people was upset with him when he got rid of that? Because he was doing work for the family and everything, like doing our jeans, coat, jackets, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good at it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Daddy.
I mean, I'm not saying just
Daddy
good.
was for
He
sure
was,
an artiste.
he that was a waste of talent right there.
I thought she would have did the Bloomington job, the merchandising Bloomington job. I think she said when she first got out. I said, that's what it feel like. Undergrad feel like.
Yes.
Like you locked up for real.
Yes.
But Where do you see her in 50 years?
I thought you said at age 50.
Or oh, my bad, at age 50. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's what I thought, but
No, I thought just mute her mic.
oh well. I see her as a mother of one. I don't see Tourette having a lot of kids, or I don't see her dilly-dallying or wasting time with nonsense. I see that, yeah, kind of like Terry, one child and doing her, just doing her thing.
Maybe it's her last name.
Yeah, that's what I see at age 50. Because these years go by quickly.
Yeah.
There we have. I'm like, geez, we all better be 30.
I'll be 70.
Scooter would be 20 in 10 years.
Yeah, and why
We're
would
21.
Yeah, he's about to be 10.
I
And
better be 11.
11, that's right.
Because I'm exactly 20 years older than him. That's how I always remember.
I'm exactly 20 years older than Let.
Like, how old am I?
And that's another thing, since we got it on record,
You said 20 years?
Scooter better get that blue
In
truck
10
that I
years.
promised him if
Scooter
I
be-
don't live to see it.
Be 20 in 10 years.
He'd be 21. I'd be 50. I'll turn 51.
Yeah.
And then he'll turn 21. Dang. That's sweet.
Yeah, bro. Shit's crazy.
But all y'all
I won't
gonna
be drinking.
age gracefully
Yeah,
now.
with him.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
true.
all y'all still look
Yeah.
like y'all did when y'all were in y'all teens.
We got our stress out early.
Yeah. That's true. For real, bro.
What was the blue something you said? You said blue something.
Oh, I just said while we got it on record, and and I'm sound mind body. So Scooter better get his blue truck if I'm not here to see it. 16. I promise him.
He
a
only
blue
got
truck.
6 years.
That's what I just told him last night.
Well, he gotta get, well, by then, are we gonna have license? Like, is
Well,
it
that's another thing.
robotic cars?
Are we gonna have electronic cars, or will we still have gasoline?
Either way, you better save that money.
Well, it's enough left over on my policy. Like, y'all just gotta make sure Granddad give it to y'all.
So you hear that, Siri?
Right. Girl, that
Right.
No.
blue
We
truck.
will talk about that later. That's a whole nother podcast.
No. Right. Now, that would be my goal, to be able to, like, help them out and just make sure
Yeah.
that they at least school and vehicle.
Right.
Like, if I can help in those two capacities, that's really all you need in life to have that head start as a black person, I feel, or a lower socioeconomic person.
True.
It's like once you get that car and then school, it's like you kind of can figure it out from there. But them two obstacles be the hardest.
And having a shelter, you know,
Like,
that's
I hit that
important.
back seat quick.
No, that's really important to know that you have a place to lay your head every night, and you know that's a big deal.
Nah, for real, especially in school.
I watched this show. It was called Poor Little Kids. You know, and it was a really interesting. It talked about children who were homeless. They did a documentary, and it was I think maybe Dateline or something like that. But it was poor little kids, and they talked about how kids teased them, how they had to do things. You know, one boy said he went out and cut grass, and he gave that money to his mother so she could buy them, you know, something to eat for the week. And then they would keep enough money to get gas in the car and gas in the lawnmower so she can repeat it and keep doing the same thing.
Right.
And I thought about how blessed Scooter was and didn't even realize it. And that's why I said I wanted them to watch that, because when he cut grass, he was thinking about what he can buy, like himself. He wasn't thinking about, it takes my mother gas to get me around, it takes gas for her to get to work, it takes gas for this lawnmower to work. He didn't think about any of that. Just how blessed and fortunate that they really are.
True.
You look about, think about other people's lives and
Ain't
never.
pay a lot of money, like $700 something a month.
Dang.
Nice profit. For
Yeah.
him.
You know, little Layla.
It was a nice profit.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah, I could do those jobs. I would this summer.
Dang, we did cover. I do have a lightning round. I didn't want to be respectful of everybody's time, but I don't know if y'all want to do the lightning round or like one more topic and then like do kind of a lightning round.
What's the lightning round?
Lightning round is where I take like maybe 5 random questions and they kind of like short answer.
Okay. I've been talking too long.
No, I just it's been an hour. I know every time I get to an hour, people be like,
Oh,
"No,
really?
for real?" Yeah, it's like no, we've been
Felt like
going.
30 minutes.
Yeah, a few interruptions.
Yeah, I mean, like most of them are an hour, and like I got time, but I always want to be respectful of people's time because like it does. Like by the time you get to like 2 hours, you be like, "All right, I can feel that 2 hours now."
Right, yeah.
So lightning round. Let's go with we'll do 5 of them just to save time and get us out of here. What was your favorite or what was your all-time best Halloween costume?
Anybody?
Oh yeah, I mean we all going around.
Yeah.
I know mine.
Yeah, I know mine. Oh, I go then. My favorite. My bad. My favorite. Oh snaps! My bad. My earliest childhood memory also. I forgot to touch on that was. Dang. Probably Arlington when our basement flooded. And I remember that specifically because like we had all our toys and stuff down there, and then those books got ruined.
Yeah.
And I remember like how many books you had. Yeah, it was like walls and walls of books. I don't know why that stands out in my head, but that's probably like one of my earlier memories. And then even before that, I remember we lived in the brown apartments on Minhofer, wherever those are.
Oh,
Shaylin, yeah. And I remember being like a little kid and like faintly seeing it was probably Daddy or Nate at the time. And I just remember playing on the floor. I don't know why I remember that, but what was the favorite Halloween costume? When I was Mr. Biggs from school, and in retrospect, in hindsight, he probably hated that. It was like rude to be your teacher, but I felt like that was one where I nailed it. Like I was him, like with I put the pillow on my stomach and I had the button up.
I just saw that picture.
Yeah. And he would always be like, he was so animated that was easy to imitate him. He was like, "Don't you never, ever, ever." And it was like something about decimals, like forget to flip the decimal or something like that. But yeah, that was.
He a Belzer?
Yep, he was a Belzer.
Okay, yeah, I remember Mr.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Dang, 10, you say you right? He was like a witch or something, like a scarecrow.
We just saw that one too. Yeah.
That was a good one.
She was, had the green.
Yeah, the
paint.
green paint.
Yeah.
That was a perfect one. Like red nose, like the freckles, and then the hat.
We just
All
looked
black,
at those.
like turtleneck and all that. That was a
We
good one.
just looked at those pictures. I think my the one I did in high school, I was Emmett Kelly. Emmett Kelly,
clown.
yeah. And I had the dummy. I had the dummy Emmett Kelly that Mama had gotten. I saving up the stamps from the A&P. She worked for A&P.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when you shop, you get so many stamps. And she bought me that. I wanted that so badly. She bought that Emmett Kelly, and I dressed up as my Emmett Kelly and took my Emmett Kelly dummy with me. That was my favorite costume.
T, you remember yours?
I would probably say either a toss-up between Ghostface from Scream or Morpheus from The Matrix. I went as Morpheus one year to this party. I had a.
Thomas that Morpheus too. He did a good one.
He did do a good one, yeah. His was good too, yeah.
They was all about Halloween.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Back in wait a minute. Back in 1990, my costume for Halloween was as a bride, and your dad was the groom.
Hey, yo.
You know you like holding
I
that
just
light.
say the which one. I know she's already got
The freestyle.
My costume was the witch one, but I meant to go back on the childhood memory and say, when TJ sprayed the pepper spray on Arlington with rainbow, that was fun.
His chords are over here. So I'm just gonna.
My bad, that was hilarious. Like,
Dang, y'all heard that. Yeah. I don't think I ever saw like it before. You know what I mean? Like
He was like, "Come, what's this?" We was getting ready for
I was
church.
like looking on the keys.
I forgot about that. That was a good memory, Tan.
I was like, weird.
And I was like, "Who spraying my?" And poor Rainbow was.
oh shit.
Still back there in the backyard.
He's still back there. We did a good one for him. We mummified him.
I remember me and Tim used to ride the bike diagonally down to Carrollton.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that's how you
A
broke
big
your
deal.
collarbone?
No.
Broke it trying to go
in the
down.
back.
In the
alley.
back.
Oh, I thought it was she trying to go down the stairs.
No,
Oh,
that
no.
y'all were in the back in the alley and going in circles on that concrete, I thought. And she slipped. And she had to be a one-armed butterfly in her school play that year.
Yeah, that hill was dangerous.
Yeah, it was steep.
I can't believe y'all used to do that.
You go back and look at it now. It's like,
I wouldn't do
I
that.
would have never done that.
yeah, like the sledding was fun though. And curveball. Carrollton was like probably
Good for curveball.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Wesley from over there? And
I had his Facebook before I restarted mine. Was that probably like 2015, and then I left and came back.
Yeah, Angela with the braces.
I forgot about her. And then
Oh, she was rough. Whoa.
yeah,
She was with
she
her
was in
grandma.
love with Paul. And then you had Bailey, yeah,
And Parker.
and little Sandra. I miss her.
Jimmy and all them.
Boy, that was a good.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, community for sure.
yeah. Even your friend who I always ask you, do you talk to? Nucci, yeah,
Oh, damn it.
yeah,
Just talked on Facebook not too long ago.
yeah.
That old man in the alley.
Oh no, Mr. Larry, R.I.P.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. Do you remember when we used to walk to 70? They used to give us lemonade and cookies next door.
They did. I never knew that.
Well, you said that last time, and Celeste said she didn't remember. So maybe I just made it, or maybe I thought about it.
Oh, you talking about Carl?
No, next door, the old light skinned lady on the porch. Like every morning, she had like lemonade for
The
us
books and
cookies.
stuff. That
Yeah.
junkie porch.
Yeah, it was crowded, I believe.
You talking about Sandra then, right?
No.
Okay, so the other side was Carl now.
And then next door to that.
Yeah.
Oh, that what wasn't Bailey now next door?
No, they was
down there.
Oh, okay.
Well, they redid Carrollton. It's real nice.
I wish we could get that now.
Star Rita and Freddie Joe them. They live next door to us too.
I don't remember them.
Freddie Judge. That was like the first black woman I met with a double name like that.
Oh,
They you was trying to sell their mama the bed or bunk bed or something.
The two sisters across.
Jacoby.
Yeah, Jacob.
oh, don't remind me of that whole Brookhaven.
Brookhaven. Wild. I like Carrollton better actually. What's I think
Brookhaven
about the
was
memories?
quite literally like it was a quintessential 2000s
Brady Bunch?
neighborhood.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I liked it.
It
Don't
ran
just-
down now though.
But
Yeah.
that's what I was leading to.
What?
It's
It ran down.
it's just it's not the same.
Yeah,
At all.
it was nice.
What emoji? What emoji do you use? What emoji do you use most?
The heart.
Dang, which one do I use?
Probably the alien face. I use the alien face.
I use the hand over. Well, recently it usually changes. I try to like switch it up. I use the hand over the mouth one, like the giggle one. I feel like I use that one heavy. And the hands, prayer hands. And the giggle one, they're like the top ones.
Smiley face or heart.
Yeah, mine is a laughing heart and F you.
Wait, what's the F you?
The middle finger. I used
Oh.
that when I was joking.
Oh.
Yeah.
The middle finger one is just
I
like
have to look.
perfect comic relief.
Ah.
That was two. Let's go with. Let's do the 3 things you would put in a time capsule to be opened in 100 years.
I actually have a time capsule that I didn't get to bury before, during COVID. And that's mostly what I have in there. COVID items.
Oh, okay. Mine would probably be, what would mine be? Definitely a cell phone. I'll probably put like pictures, like memory, like just pictures of some sort. And then my third item, don't know, it's hard to say. My third one will be like music player or something. Well, that's a cell phone, yeah. Thanks. My third one would probably be, I don't know, a car if it could fit.
Tesla.
Yeah, some kind of vehicle.
So it's 3 things that go inside a time capsule.
Yeah,
For
to be
how long?
open 100 years later. So I guess that'd take care of like family, random people, or a stranger that needed an emergency item. Thinking like The Last of Us.
Back to the future.
Yeah, you wanna hold it?
Yeah, I would do some food. I was gonna say money, but I don't know.
Because 100 years, it might be like
Yeah.
different.
Oh, yeah. Gold.
I don't know. Just survival stuff. Definitely some canned goods.
Big facts.
I'm thinking about what the apocalypse. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's probably about it. The kids.
I would probably say a phone. Just really, just any phone, so that way, like, they can at least like get the information up. You know what I mean? Like what was relevant around this time. Like they would have that on there. So probably a phone. I don't know. Yeah, a phone. Yeah, I was about to say maybe like some art or something, but I feel like all that I would have on my phone. Yeah, I think a phone, and then maybe like a skateboard, so they would know something was like physically like something we did to pass time or be recreational with, you know. And then probably what popular song that was, or a movie or something that was like popular at the time. So, yeah.
Going right back, what decade would you like to relive?
I'd probably say either 90s or early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was Carrollton time. That was fun.
Yeah, I'd probably say that too. 95 to 05.
Yeah.
Or like 94 to 04. Music wise too. Entertainment wise too.
Well,
all
I'll answer
that
that. I can't answer
technology.
that one.
Before 06.
Yeah, Prince era, 1999. Yeah, that's the only thing. The rest, maybe I don't know. I would probably have to say, I don't know. I don't think I want to relive any of them, but just glad to get through them. So I would say music. I can answer the music era. That would be the Prince, because he never went out of style.
I'm trying to think of it was
Eras.
custom years, decade, time capsule. Okay, one more.
Nobody else answered. Oh, everybody said the early millennium,
Oh yeah,
late 90s.
basically.
Okay.
Especially that the original COVID, 1999 New Year's.
Y2K.
When
In the hallway.
That was the original
Yeah.
apocalypse. Everything was supposed to end that day.
for real.
Yeah.
My last one word to describe yourself. One word to describe yourself.
To describe ourselves.
Yes.
Uh,
And one piece of advice that you would give anybody. Should I say anybody or like your old self?
mm.
Well, your old self is anybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So one word to describe yourself and then something to tell your old self.
Resilient. Communicate.
I'm gonna just say, you said one word to describe ourselves. And what else?
A piece of advice.
A piece of advice you would give yourself.
I'm gonna say tough, and then I'm gonna say leave me alone. I say
That's a good advice. Leave yourself alone.
no, this for other people. To other people.
That's Michael Jackson advice right there. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
See.
That's nice. I would probably say interesting. Be yourself and don't overthink. Be yourself and don't overthink.
I was about to turn you up when she said what? She don't have headphones. That's hilarious. Oh, sorry. Is this mine? Is it not? There. I'm trying to find which mic is mine. I got lost at which number is which number when the chords kept switching. But my bad. My word will probably be sanguine, and then my bad. Let me turn it down. Dang, you heard that? I'm trying to figure out which microphone. Sanguine, and I got you. I'm gonna look up the actual word. SANGUINE. Optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. And or I don't know. I just like that word. I found it one day. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Because all y'all took good ones. Anyway, advice for younger me. Dang, y'all had good ones too. Don't get angry so quickly, and listen better. Because I feel like I just didn't listen. I kind of, like you said, with like Nigel and Jerry, it's like you just go. You know what I mean? And it's hard to like listen when you in that like emotional, when you ramped up emotionally. But yeah, that's my answer. Any comments? Any last thoughts, y'all?
No, just thank you for the podcast.
Amen.
We're back on this in 10 years.
Right. 10 is out.
To less
She's always back on
absence
the 10
due
years.
to employment right now.
Oh yeah, to like grinding. What Daddy say? Put on that monkey suit, man. I could definitely go on him for a whole another hour and a half.
I did want to say we were just talking about when Tanya moved out of that place. We were talking about how Tim helped her move in, and he had to go to work that day. And he took me, my coworker, my ex-coworker Avery, helped us move too, and he took us to Taco Bell to get something to eat after the move. And he was in a rush because he had to go get a bill paid and get to work. And I remember he picked up that big old chair and said, "You trying to be all macho?" And carried that chair in. So, I got it, Tom. I got it.
He would definitely want to put other people before his priorities.
Yeah.
Like that one time he came, he was like fresh. He had on like dress shoes and like polo and like some blue jeans, a nice like pea coat, and he was like he came in over to Kim's when she was right here around the corner, Fox Hill, and like muddied up like to the knees and like just dirty. He was like, "Yeah, I just got done helping somebody push him out the
Mud.
out the side of the road, like out the ditch." I was like, "What?" So I don't know. It's just like a lot of those circumstances where he would like do that. So.
Yeah. Because he was getting right off from work that time. Tanya had the Father's Day dinner. We had to sell.
Oh, he was at Indigo.
Yep, and he came over and got his plate, his free plate. And I remember saying, "You come over in that uniform, gonna get me in trouble."
Because I feel like Uncle Tommy rode with him too.
Uncle Tommy was here first. I think you brought him, and then Tim came when he got off work.
Oh yeah, because he had the silver car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed with a whip and a job.
I thought that car was blue.
No, it was silver.
All this time I thought it was blue. The last car?
Yeah.
That wasn't blue? Well, I am
Silver.
colorblind, legit.
Yeah.
But dang, so TJ, I'm sorry I interrupted you. When you were saying your thing, when I was saying thanks for the podcast, and you were going to say your final word.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say the same thing. Right on, it's fun. I appreciate it. It's good.
Hey man, I'm trying to well, I don't know.
Follow me on Instagram, Sex Symbol Ego.
Just follow me on Facebook, old school.
That part. And you already know me, Indiana Polly J, on cross platforms, and then polyj.com if you're interested. I'm eventually going to get my interviews animated. I think I want to go that route, just to kind of piggyback from that show you put me on. I forgot, it was like it was on Netflix where the dude like animated his, but
Oh, yeah, that was
I don't want mine to be like random like his. His was kind of like out there, like spacey a little bit. But I want mine to be more like
Midnight Gospel.
Yeah, Midnight Gospel. Shout out to Midnight Gospel. I don't want mine to be as
Cartoonish?
not as
Psychedelic.
yeah. That was a great word. Not as psychedelic.
Less LSD.
Yeah, I want mine to be like cake.
Yeah.
Where it's like different animations, different like interpretations, and then
I do like that aesthetic.
yeah.
That's tight.
But right now I'm just collecting interviews, and that's all I got for you. I'll play some exit music. I don't really know what I'm.
Glad you got that going.
I know, right? Oh, let's go with "I Feel You" by Jeezy.